mostly inspired by the kinds of stories that Peter shares and that I hear through the Self-Help Africa Network as well. I think, of course, at a place like MIT, I'm surrounded by young people with, great ambition and huge ideas and all sorts of access to resources and other things. And they do incredible and inspiring things, whether it's on the science and technology front, or many of them in the Sloan School going out and trying to set up not just businesses, but other kinds of organizations that mean to have the sort of impact in the world that, frankly, Self-Help Africa has been able to have for such a long time. But the people that I get to encounter in that setting also have many advantages and opportunities and privileges as well. And as inspiring as it is, it's much more inspiring still to hear the examples that Peter talks about. So without even being able to sort of name names of those, I really appreciate the chance that this organization has given me to get to learn about those. And frankly, I can bring these stories and this inspiration and this purpose back into the programs that we run at MIT for those older generations of people that, as Neil has been describing, are still important, even though we have to be cautious about what advice we take from them and ourselves.
Connor, I wanted to mention recently, this year, the county governor of Baringo. So Kenya has got 47 counties. Each county is led by a county governor who has also their own government for that county. So the county governor of Baringo got out of his own way to sell Self-Help Africa to the different embassies in Kenya. Selling Self-Help Africa, talking about our success, achievement in those counties and what we do, without us supporting him, just on his own way. And he would go to the EU to try to convince EU to give Self-Help Africa support, to be able, any support directed to the county of Baringo. You can imagine how that speaks a lot to us who are the implementers in terms of our impact in that county, because it simply means that the government looks at us like another valuable partner who is more practical in terms of delivering on the challenges Baringo County is facing. So that usually when we sit down in meetings, we keep feeling like, what next for Baringo? What do we give them? What is the level of support? So that is the kind of inspiration that we get from the communities that we work with, that they can appreciate that their life is changing and they would want more for you to be able to deliver for them.
You also touched on something there, which I think neither you or Connor will say, so I'll say it.
Yes.
Which is that Self-Help Africa is a very unusual organization in terms of the approach that you have and the value that you can create in the communities that you work with. And so the kind of recognition that you just described from a leader in that community who sees that and is picking on this organization to not only partner with, but to really help support and lift up. So, others could, speaking of learning, exactly. But speaking of the learning and the sharing and the competition and so forth, a lot of other organizations could learn a lot from this one about how to be effective. We started this conversation talking about the sustainability of the work that you do. There's the direct impact, which I have seen, from in these 10 years. There's enormous direct impact that you have. But the method of having that impact is also having that sustainability. And I think that is incredibly differentiating for this organization. I think this organization is totally willing to share the benefit of that wisdom and all of that experience. And so I hope others will learn from what you all do and how to have not only that immediate impact which makes the headlines, but you're also doing the hard work, which is not always glamorous, to really put in place the systems that mean that one day you won't need to exist, perhaps, or at least not in those countries.
I was just going to say, I think
that's the ultimate measure of success.
Yes,
where you no longer need to exist.
Yeah. I was just going to say, to be forgotten by your students is the ultimate success of the educator. Right? So, so I think we're appreciative of all the kind words and the potential accolades, but ultimately that goal is to not be needed anymore, and I think that is something that I'm inspired by when I see it happening across the many different places where we work. So Neil, Peter, I want to thank you for sitting down with us today. It's been great to speak with all of you, and we will look forward to keeping this conversation going. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.